Sometimes the world spins so fast, it forgets how to breathe. Sometimes, headlines are louder than reason, and whispers become roars before the truth even has a chance to arrive. And sometimes, a kiss, a simple, friendly, human gesture, becomes a media storm. But in the middle of that storm, Colin Jost stands calm, collected, and completely unfazed. Yes, the Saturday Night Live star, beloved for his wit, his deadpan delivery, and his cool demeanor, has found himself inadvertently at the center of yet another viral moment, this time not for a sketch or a punchline, but for a kiss he didn't even give. The kiss, as it turns out, was between his wife, the iconic Scarlett Johansson, and her Jurassic World Rebirth co-star, Jonathan Bailey. A peck on the lips. A moment caught on camera. And suddenly, the world gasped. Social media buzzed. Speculation brewed. Memes were born. Threads unraveled. Assumptions piled on assumptions. But Colin just laughed. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, the 43-year-old comedian was asked about the now infamous moment, a kiss that, to many, seemed to carry more weight than it ever should have. And his response? Measured. Amused. Brilliantly sarcastic. People really blow it out of proportion that someone kisses their friend. Hello, Jost said, brushing aside the frenzy with the elegance of a man who's seen far too much absurdity to be rattled by this. It's pretty nuts. Because it is nuts. In a world where wars rage, economies shift, and climate threatens the future, here we are, fixated on a kiss. A kiss that, as Jost was quick to remind the world, was not the scandal people tried to make it out to be. Of all the threats out there, he added with a smirk, I wasn't thinking it was Jonathan. Boom. That's the Colin Jost we know. Dry, witty, sharper than a razor. And to drive the point home, he finished it with a warm chuckle, it's going to be okay. It was a masterclass in perspective. Because Jonathan Bailey isn't just a co-star. He's an actor, a professional, a friend, and, in case anyone still missed the memo, he is an out gay man, Jost reminded the public. Let that sink in. This wasn't betrayal. This wasn't scandal. This was Hollywood doing what Hollywood does, promoting a film with charm, flair, and affection. Scarlett and Jonathan are playing characters. They're crafting a narrative. They're breathing life into a cinematic world that millions are waiting to escape into. And in that world, they're allies. Partners. Co-creators of a shared dream. But off-screen, they're also people. People who greet each other. People who hug. People who kiss hello, just as many friends do across cultures, continents, and industries. The fact that it became a talking point says more about the culture of outrage than it does about any of the individuals involved. And Colin Jost, with his calm humor, sliced right through the noise. He didn't take the bait. He didn't manufacture drama. He reminded us, all of us, to take a deep breath. Because no, Scarlett isn't cheating. No, Colin isn't jealous. No, Jonathan isn't some secret threat. This is not a tabloid fantasy. This is life. Messy, friendly, imperfect, human. And in a world obsessed with conflict, Jost offered comedy. In a culture hungry for scandal, he gave serenity. In a moment that could have gone viral for all the wrong reasons, he made it go viral for the right ones, by laughing at it. Because that's who Colin Jost is. He doesn't just write punchlines, he is the punchline when needed. He doesn't just report the weekend update, he updates our perspective. And when the world spins out of control, he anchors it with humor. That's why people love him. Not because he's flashy. Not because he courts attention. But because he consistently reminds us that even when the world gets ridiculous, we don't have to. We can choose grace. We can choose humor. We can choose to believe that a kiss between friends doesn't need a press conference or a conspiracy theory. So let the headlines fade. Let the whispers quiet. Let the truth settle in. Scarlett kissed a co-star. Colin cracked a joke. And the rest of us, we can relax. Because as he said, and perhaps we all needed to hear it, it's going to be okay.